Okay, Sunday morning in the kingdom again. I'm having to do this intro. Oh, the me phone. I hate doing things twice except in the bedroom. All our videos are one take, first try, everything like that. Just like the books I write. Yes, it's from my head to paper in one shot. All right, so here we go again. -1 Celsius, but feels like -5. It is chilly out here. And then on the yo-yo scale, +30 Fahrenheit, but feels like +23. It is chilly. I should have had the Grinch gloves on. All right, there's no bacon in town, no sausages in town, nothing to go with my eggs. So guess what? I'm going to have an omelet today. I'll just slash everything up, cut it up, dice it up, stir it all together. So it'll be scrambled eggs and omelet stuff. Yeah, so we don't know what else to do. Nobody cares. The water machine's still broken after 2 weeks. No bacon, no nothing. Nobody cares. Welcome to Hooville. All right, so let's check us out here. I don't know if I have enough talent. I'm going to turn. There's going to be a slight glare on the screen. All right. Okay. Look at that. Sir Rodney sent us more earplugs. No, they're not candies. Yeah, that would be a good chew, those things. All right. So we got more earplugs, so we're good to go. And also, too, it's Sunday. So I got to empty the vacuum. We've been vacuuming a lot of dirt up because somebody doesn't take their shoes off when they come in the house. Oh, wait. I live in the office. All right, let's see if we can move over here to get rid of the glare. Oh, uneven ground, and it's not frozen. Well, it's kind of. All right, so a quick scroll this way. I don't know what we're going to do today. Probably just wander around, do loose ends. Today's screwed up, no bacon. We don't have to do the doggy blankets or anything like that because the staff did them yesterday. So this Sunday will not feel like a Sunday. It'll feel like, a marriage, a day of confusion. All right, so there we go. Oh, that sun's bright again. All right. Okay, so I don't know what we're doing today. We should be working on the 67 and 69 film trucks. We have a vehicle to drive out to buy bacon. Yes, what were we thinking? All right, the cats are in the lineup. Look at all that snow. That'll take a while to melt. And we're right back to the 48 Chevy sedan delivery. Yes, my parents bought that in 1974, and I still own it. Yes, it's a good car. Oh, a fun car. All right, I better go. It's Sunday and I'm screwing up big time. All because we have no bacon. Okay, this is the third time on this video, so you know Sunday's going to suck all because we have no bacon. Well, welcome to Hooville, where nobody cares. Nobody cares if there's bacon, there's fresh water, water machine works or anything, or diesel pump works. Okay, so we used the mini hoe to dig out the axle here. We bent it in 2006, as you can see there. And we bought it on the trader in 1999. So it's about the same age as the staff, actually 1 year younger. Okay, so this is a torque flex axle. Okay, so there's a rubber bushing in here that actually is the spring, okay? So that's what makes it work. And when I moved up here back in the day, we had a spring ride tandem trailer. We destroyed it in a year. We had to carry springs because we broke them all the time. It was just a nightmare. So we went to this torque flex and we got good results and everything like that. So this axle's bent in here somewhere, okay? And we need a straight axle for the idler axle on the snow truck, okay? So putting this thing in and reducing it down is not going to work because the tires have to be straight up and down for the track to stay on. Okay, of course the wind gets up when I get the camera out. So I went to the shed there and we got a 245 75 16, which is totally different. It's smaller and wider than the 235 85 R16. Okay, we want these tires here, which is the standard trailer tire we use for this idle axle on the snow truck. And this tire rim here and tire pisses me off because a guy came up over the so-called road and these manufacturers mount the spare with one nut. So the guy goes along till it's loose and, then he has a flat tire and then I get involved. I helped the guy out with 2 tires, 2 rims and all this crap, and it took me 6 months to get paid. I had to wait for him to ride back in the yard with broken down and then I finally got paid. So this one rim is a sore spot with me, but I think I'll accept it as a temporary setup tire for building the idler axle. Oh, this is just terrible today. I'm getting all emotional about getting screwed out of money as usual. Okay, so over here, the wind's at my back. We have some wheel hubs from this axle, and they've got a broken wheel stud, which is common for up here on the so-called roads. So let's figure out what we can do. See if we can maybe cut this axle stub out, and then we can weld it to a piece of pipe as an idler axle. Because I don't think using this big ugly thing is going to help us, because we want to be able to stay on top of the snow, not be a submarine. Okay, hiding out of the wind, we got the 39 Chevy snow truck right there out of the shed, the loader shed, and we use the fork. Yes, the little thingy on the fork, the U-channel on the fork. And then over here, I got my hoe close to me. Always nice to have your hoe close to you. All right, so it's a perfect day to be outside grinding because it's chilly enough that you're actually wearing your winter clothes, so it's not frying bacon naked or whatever. So if you do this on a hot day, the sparks would be everywhere. Yes, and we know nothing of frying bacon because there is none in Hooville. Oh, those people. Okay, so what we did was we cut off the spindle. Okay, it's right there. And we're using the chop saw blades, because you get them down to their, how would you say, basically you can't cut a 2-inch pipe or a 2-inch angle iron, and then we put them in the grinder here. Oh, that's not the grinder we used. We used one with a safety guard and everything, so that's not the one we used. So then I took them down to another size here, which will fit in the smaller grinder, because I need the full amount to cut into here. Okay, I'm trying to hide out of the wind. So what they've done is slide this on, weld it here, weld it there, and then slide the backing plate thing on and give it a weld right there. So I know the plasma cutter can't cut all the layers and everything, but I had 15 years with oxyacetylene torches to cut that. So I create my own problems. What was I thinking? So what I did was I cut into there to find the different materials. Now I can use the plasma cutter after lunch and cut right in here and beat these pieces off one by one and stuff. Okay, that's the theory. All right, so we'll do that in the shop out of the wind, because we have to be able to control everything. And then over here we toss the axle up here. All right, so instead of getting the measuring tape out, I just went along with the grinder till I didn't find any rubber. I'll cut it here because this is used. Oh, I got the burps. Okay, this is reusable material, being a square tubing. Okay, square tubing up here in the Great White North or Wilderness, Alaska, or Northern Manitoba, there is none, because the mining companies only use pipe, and they use lots of pipe and lots of angles, so square tubing is very rare, and these pieces here will go in the scrap recycling bin. Okay, so the reason I put it up here, because when we supposedly get the nice weather, we can come out with the plasma cutter, yes, the ProPoint 38 Plus, to get some fresh air, to cut all this crap off, trim up this deck, to make it look better. Yes, to make it look better and do some improvements. But though we'll have a good day at plasma cutting outside when it's a nice day, but not today. Okay, after lunch in the kingdom, and scrambled eggs with omelette ingredients was tasty. Yes, I made a bunch of it and it worked out good. And for bacon treats and the dog treats for the dogs, because we make them frozen, I had to take the bacon treat themselves, break it into pieces and put it in the cup and add the dog food. So they think tonight after supper they're getting a bacon treat. It smells like bacon, tastes like bacon, but it's not bacon. All right, so we used everybody knows what happens next, the ProPoint 38 Plus by Princess Auto. We didn't crank up the airflow into it. I just went to 29 on the scale, not 30. We don't want to push it to the limit, so I was at 29. Okay, so what I did was I cut around here first to get rid of the backing plate, and I'd left enough material there to grind, because I don't want to nick into the axle stub itself, because I got a weld on it. Also too, I have to take this outside and grind this all clean so I can do my next cut. Also too, cutting this here, I was on the weld and I did a weave up and down, more than that twerking that I was talking about the other day. And as soon as I come to the cuts in there, that's where the molten metal or slag or whatever was able to blow through. So this worked out pretty good. So now I'll go outside and grind this, because there'll be a little bit of grinding to do, and clean it up, and then I can cut on the inside here. So I'm very pleased at this. Hopefully we can get the snow truck up on the bogey wheels today, or the idler axle. I don't know what sure we're going to call it. The idler axle. That's a good name. Okay, outside here, it's sunny and warm, but it's not. The ground's still frozen, like we have no puddles or anything that we're walking through. And see the American flag over in Rust-Oleum over there? Okay, so we're out here enjoying the grinder, and the vibration will kill my hands later tonight. I'll have to drink lots of vodka to take the pain away. But the sad part is, in the last 10 years, these grinding blades, you can't change them out. So say if I wanted to put a new one in there to do the cutting or to go edging, if I put this one back in, it'll be totally out of balance, okay? I don't know why. I remember when I was a professional welder and stuff like that. Yeah, that was a couple of days. And we could change out the blades, like go back and forth new. So now this blade will stay in here until it's reduced down to size for the small 4-inch grinder. Ooh, the wind's getting up. All right, so here we are. I was able to chase it around. Okay, so it's easy to grind it because you go along and all of a sudden you get down to the flakes. That's the original material for the backing plate. But I also concentrated on the back here because I want to plasma cut this weld out. Okay, because I did it on this side here. You see that last Nassman? And then I'll bring it back out, we'll grind some more, and hopefully these pieces break off. And then we just have to find a tube for the axle stub now. It's now a stub. So this is really costing nothing except time and a few blades, but we're having fun and we're learning. Okay, once again I got confused for the first time in my life, but trying to lay things out for filming because we are the learning channel. I had put this spindle in the shop here, and I put it upside right for filming or whatever, and then I filmed the one outside because it was better light. Okay, so I never cut on the inside here, so I cut this one here. Oh, over here I cut it, and then I beat it with my small little hammer over there, and 2 pieces broke off. Yeah, so now I'm looking at that like, holy, I did a terrible cut with the plasma. No, I didn't even cut it, so they broke off. So then I just did a quick plasma cut around and the pieces fell off. So here we are boo-hooing because that's a big piece of steel. We don't have a torch anymore. We don't have a lathe to chase out the welds, but we did it. We live in wilderness, Alaska, Northern Manitoba, and it's a Sunday afternoon and we're using what we have. So got to think smarter, work harder, or no, think smarter, work less. Okay, so this worked out pretty good. Plus we utilized some grinding blades and cut-off saw blades that were too small. But we credit, everybody's ready, the Pro Point 38 Plus. Without that, we couldn't do this project. Because if I still had that expensive other one, that hypothermia, hyperactive thing, that thing was a piece of crap. I'd be so stressed out I'd be in the house drinking vodka right now, and who cares about this axle? All right, let's get these spindles ground up so we can get a tube or an axle pipe there so we can get them mounted today. Okay, coffee time in the kingdom, and I got the pieces all ground. Yes, I ground and ground and ground. I'm grinder boy today. All right, remember to put my glove on here. I'll put that there. All right. So over here we have the wheel hub together with the greasy bearings and stuff like that. So I put the stick on there and it turned into be a wind chime. Yes, a wind chime, wind direction thingy-me-bob. Yes. So I had to put the crescent wrench on top. We have all the new pieces here, and I did replace that wheel stud. I don't know if we can see it, but there, I'll set that aside in the 39 for a later date because we're not going to do a complete assembly on these wheel hubs because they'll have to come apart numerous times. All right, so we did some measurements here. Okay, so I used Sesame Street. The 39 Chevy center to center, tires is 75, and this is what we have here. That's the center of the tire. That's the axle stub sticking out, and that's where it is. So we have to cut the pipe at 68 inches. All right. So the problem we have now is this is where it would be nice to have a lathe. But then if I had a lathe, it wouldn't be any fun, right? Because I did take machine shop in college. Yes. Okay. So here's our piece. This is drill pipe or drill steel. Almost fits. Almost. Yes, almost. Just like in horseshoes, hand grenades, and sex. Almost. So what we're going to do, even if we ground that down to stick it in there. Ooh, look at that. The wind pointer direction thing. All right. So if we ground it down to make it fit in there, okay, so we just have a weld around here. Well, that's not good enough, right? So I'd have to cut little slits in here to get some weld back here, right? All right. So why don't we just cut the top off of this, okay, and then weld this into there and then put the cap back on, okay? Because you got to remember, the only thing that's going to abuse this axle as when we hit a rock or a tree stump or something like that. Like, it's not like we're driving to Winnipeg to see Sir Rodney, you know, in the snow truck here, and then hitting a pothole on the so-called road. All right, let's go have a quick coffee or a beer. Yeah, it's Sunday. Let's have a beer. Seems how there is no bacon. Oh, well. Let's go have a beer, and then we'll get back to this project. Hopefully we can have the axle under here so we have some more ideas. The reason why we're working on this now, because everything is temporary. This thing can go in the shop in October when it's nasty, and we can start working on it. So, but to gather this material up in October would take 3 times as long, 4 times as long, because we're trying to find it. Oh, look, the pointer direction thing. Wow. Okay, it would take like 3 times as long, plus it would be stressful. So this is relaxing. We're not making a mess in the yard with ruts or anything like that. We're having fun, except for my arms and hands are tingling from that grinder. Oh well, that beer is going to taste good. Okay, we did some welds. It turned out good, and I think I grabbed a pipe that was bent. Yes, I don't know if you can see it there, Les Nutsman. This looks like it's a high spot right here. Okay, but that's what we did. We cut the top off, and then we had to use the vise in the shop to press this in, because this is how tight it is. Okay, and then we did some tack welds. Also too, we don't know if the spindle itself is bent. Okay, and the other side could be bent too, because the trailer would hit a pothole and stuff like that. So we could be playing with 2 bent spindles and this bent pipe. Like, I don't know if you can see it here. When you turn it, this looks like it's going up high. Like, we're not gonna get the vernier out or the dial indicator or anything like that. What we'll do is we'll continue a good weld around here to keep the water out from here. And then when I assemble this as an axle, when it's almost officially done, I can cut the pipe and then straighten this out. Plus, these wheel bearings haven't been cleaned. There could be grease and debris on the wheel bearing to keep it not from going straight. But for actually just doing a press fit, it's got a little bit of wobble to it, which is not bad. That's acceptable for a stationary axle or an idler axle that's just going to be guiding the bogey wheel or whatever. But I think I grabbed a pipe that's bent, because you can actually see it go up and down. I don't know, but we're having fun. We've used up a lot of material that would be, how would you say, scrap metal at my estate sale. This side turned out just as good. We just pressed it together, and like, there was no sense wasting time grinding this down. I wanted this to be on the original steel, and it turned out pretty good. I'm pleased, and my hands are still tingling. But I've enjoyed the beverage and the peanuts, so I got the burps. So let's get a good weld on this, get this sealed up, because we don't want the water and moisture getting in here. And then we can get it on the truck. And then when we figure out how to anchor it and make it tighten the track, and then the last and final thing we can do is cut the welds and get these wheels straight, because we'll have new wheels for it, or better wheels, because right now we're playing with 2 different size tires and sizes and dimensions, so we don't know if anything's straight. So that's why I say I live in the land of Dr. Seuss, where nothing is straight. Now, if I had new steel, everything's straight, I'd probably weld it crooked, because that's the only way I know how to do it. Okay, I did the quick welds with the Hobart 7018 welding rods, and I used the Lincoln Buzz box. Okay, so this is what you do with your old gloves if the dogs don't want to chew on them. So I got my money's worth out of them. We use them for greasy gloves, you know, to work on stuff. Taped them on to protect the bearing races and the seal race. And of course, we did the uphand. We got to do the uphand. I don't like doing anything flat, so it's easier just to chase it around, and we did the same at this end down here. All right, let's get this axle out and underneath the truck, and then we'll lift it up and put the wheel hubs on. Because if I put the wheel hubs on, how do I get it underneath the truck? Because it'll be too heavy. Oh, well, I'm thinking, because I'm thirsty. Okay, 5 o'clock, and we just about got the axle under, so it's looking good. What I did was I put the axle under and then removed those gloves, and then I put the hubs on, and then I put the wheel on. So it was a lot easier to do it that way than try to manhandle the whole unit. I can't get over how heavy that rubber torque flex axle is, because it's a fair amount. So the only thing we know about this frame, the frame actually tapers going back, and the bottom tapers. So the only thing you can go after and stay in line with is the top of the frame and the holes here. So that's what we did. So we put the square on, went down here. I think this will be about right, because we have to have clearance for the drive shaft, right? Because hopefully the drive shaft goes up. So I think we're good. but the drive shaft also has to go up a bit more for the hanger bearing in there. Okay, so we just did cut these pieces at 13 inches and they're flush here. Okay, and that's how we got it. So this turned out pretty good on this side. For tonight, we're going to put some gussets going back. Okay, let's walk to the other side. Okay, I walked to the other side, and Henry Ford with his Model T snowmobiles, which we would call a skidoo. Yes, the Model T skidoo, because we're Canadian. All right, so over here, oh, I got that burbs eating peanuts and drinking beer and he's trying to stay sober enough to think. Okay, this is tough. All right, plus it's windy out here. All right, so what Model Henry Ford did for his Model T, I'm trying to block the wind here with the cab, is he took a front axle, stuck it under, and he was known for that, how'd you say, spring on top of his front axle. So that's what he did for his snowmobile or his skidoo. So then he had cables or rods that went forward to pull the axle to tighten the little tracks. Okay, so we got to figure something out like that. First we have to decide how wide the track is going to be, because it'll be steel with rubber, steel with chain, steel with something. So we can't, how do you get carried away with the bracing here? All right, so we got this side up. All right, because over there on the other side it's sitting on a hump, and then this is a smaller diameter wheel and wider. Okay, so let's give it a test to see how it is, because you got to remember I just booger welded those axles in, so I think that's fairly close. And you got to remember, I think this rim is bent because it was hanging off that one lug nut as a spare tire till it kind of fell off. So I'm very pleased with that. So that turned out pretty well. And now we'll get some gussets on here, and then we can, how to say, move it around the yard and get thinking. So this is a very successful day considering we have no bacon. So yeah, so the struggle was unreal today, all because I'm English and things changed when I didn't get my bacon and eggs for brunch. I had scrambled eggs and omelet ingredients. All right, let's get to work, get this done so we can enjoy some beer. Okay, 1 week ago today, this was a bunch of parts in the storage trailers. Yes, and the storage trailers. I don't know how many cubic feet of storage space we got available now, because we've assembled this. We have the fuel tank, the box, everything like that. Today, it was the axle, the tires, and the wheel hubs all came out of the storage trailer. So that's a lot of material. We're freeing up a lot of space. I'm very pleased. And now we can figure out how to tighten the belt or the track, how to make it independent, how to make a suspension out of it. But we just kind of booger welded some pieces on. Okay, I chose the up hand because it's the easiest. Yes, it's the easiest. If I tried to weld that stuff flat, I'd have to cut degrees, angles, and philosophies. Just slap it on and burn it uphill. I mean up hand, sorry. And hopefully the gods of gravity don't screw it up. Okay, we're on the other side. Hopefully the wind's not too bad, but it's looking good. Even the exhaust stack looks good. It's a good thing I got the rain cap on in case it rains, but it's going right back in the loader shed because we have no dust covers. We don't want this thing getting wet. And we have no windows, so everything inside the cab will get wet, but it's looking good. Hard to believe, 1 week, and we got it assembled. And now we can start figuring things out. This is looking good. This morning I woke up and said I wanted sitting on 4 tires. Well, we got it sitting on 2 tires at the back and 2 tires at the front are up in the air a bit. Slight design problem. But oh well, let's go check on the flags.
Sunday morning in Hooville, and it's just after 11 a.m. and I'm finally getting out of bed. I've been sleeping on and off all morning. Actually, I went to bed early last night at maybe 8 o'clock or so, and I've just been sleeping non-stop. Now it's time to head inside, make a late breakfast, and let the dogs out. Not sure if we'll be doing anything in the kingdom this afternoon. 1 p.m. and I just finished having lunch. I had soup and sandwich again today since I'm still not feeling the greatest. It is laundry day again, and my dad's doing some stuff in the shop, so I don't have to go over to the kingdom or anything like that today. Just gonna relax and sleep. As you can see, it is pretty windy out there today. I'm not sure how much of this you'll hear on my phone, but it is windy out there, so let's head back inside and finish up. 5 p.m. and this is the temperature we're sitting at today. It's 10 degrees Celsius, which is 50 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. It's been pretty nice out today, but that wind makes it extra chilly, and it is really, really windy out here. I can hear it inside the house. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, make some soup for supper, and end my day.
Okay, the flags are enjoying themselves. Let's put this snow truck in the loader shed and park everything, and then we can walk the dogs, drink the beer, and make a video. Plus we can celebrate. We did a lot this week. All right, let's go do that, and we'll talk to you guys later.